In this Daily Drop, I'm going to talk about a book that changed my viewpoint about design when it came to my career. So let's go. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Last episode of the week, this day did not turn out, well, most days do not turn out the way I think they're going to. Started off very early, then a 9 o'clock meeting. That meeting had to-dos for an 11:30 meeting. That rolled into more to-dos, and here I am at 5 o'clock. Thinking about what I'm going to cook for dinner, but I'm shooting an episode of the Daily Drop. So I already know what I'm cooking for dinner. So what I thought I would do, because I didn't get to the episode that I wanted to shoot today, was just talk about a book that had a tremendous impact on me in my career. And then hopefully you'll also get into those comments and let me know of a book that had impact for you. Not everybody's going to have a book that had an impact on their career, but I remember back in the day when I sort of transitioned into the beginning of my creative career, like actually getting in there, and I was working for a graphic design firm. I was in business development. I was doing sales. I started to work on sort of the tech side of things. And I really started to pay attention to what graphic design was and what its impact could be, and also the difference between graphic design and just fine art, with the viewpoint that graphic design is absolutely art, but it has a different purpose, a call to action. There's a business component of it, which is very, very different than fine art. Now, I didn't go to school for graphic design. I have a long history in that space, but we started as a company, and it wasn't my company. And then eventually when I went to another company, and then when I started my company, really getting into website development. And this is in the mid towards the late 90s. This is really when the World Wide Web started to become a thing. And we were still dealing with Mozilla. We were still dealing with largely gray web pages with the occasional GIF, the occasional JPEG, things like that. And then this book came out. This book by David Siegel called Creating Killer Websites. The subtitle for the book is The Art of Third Generation Site Design. And, you know, flipping through this book now, it's pretty amazing in some respects how archaic some of the things look. But at the same time, this book opened up the idea of taking what was on the World Wide Web and designing websites with a purpose related to branding, marketing, audience engagement. The things that we used to do were ridiculous. I remember when we really started to adopt this concept of really designing websites, that the process of optimizing a website was just as lengthy as sort of conceptualizing and putting it together. We would run images through sometimes 2 or 3 different utilities or programs to shrink as many kilobytes as possible, or rid of as many kilobytes as possible in those images, because people were using, 9600, 14.4, 28.8, eventually 56.6 K modems. And in order to have not an excruciatingly painful experience when using a website, we had to optimize those images and those designs in a way that it wouldn't take forever and ever. It's amazing how many light years ahead we are now with the ability to just upload videos and they play instantaneously. The optimization that sits on the back end of things like YouTube. So even if you have a crappy connection, you can play a video. It's crazy stuff. But this book by David Siegel, this book changed my viewpoint of how to design and how to approach design when it came to the World Wide Web. And that really informed sort of what happened with other things that I did as I started to expand into video production and all of these other areas. this book had enough impact on me that I have to this day always looked at projects from the viewpoint of, okay, what is the brand strategy? What are they trying to do from a marketing perspective? And really trying to understand from a client's point of view who the audience or audiences are that they're trying to reach. And this book, for some reason, had that much impact on me. So I'd love to hear of books that had that much impact on you when you were starting your career, you were in school, whatever it is. For me, this one is near the top of the list, Creating Killer Websites by David Siegel. Let me know yours. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.